Hello, hello, and welcome to another Rise Up CX Talks. This is the podcast where we discuss ideas and strategies on how to transform experience into business growth. I am your host, Camila Ferreira, an international speaker, an award winning CX leader, and more recently, an author of Long Live CX, available on Amazon. Today, I have the pleasure to welcome a friend, Alfredo Guidin, who is a previous employer at Amazon and have a lot to share, but I don't want to give any spoiler. So, Alf, please take the stage and introduce yourself.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me today. Hello, I'm Alfredo Guillen. I've been working in customer experience for over 15 years now. It's a passion of mine, just being there for customers, being there for our businesses, helping businesses grow, and feel how the customer experience is the pillar for success in every single company. And that's me. So thank you, Cami, for having me today.
Oh my goodness, yes. And I can feel that passion, and I have experienced that passion as well when we had the chance to work together at Spot On. And
Mhm.
I often say that for someone to be successful in CX, we got to be passionate. We
Mhm.
face so many challenges on a daily basis, on a minute basis, I would say, that if you're not passionate, we cannot endure, we cannot stand all of this. So thank you very much for accepting my invites to be here and sharing with my audience what you have learned throughout those 15 years.
It's a great pleasure, and as I said, it's my passion. It's why I
Indeed.
get up in the morning.
Yeah. But today we are going to talk about some specific in your career. So, the time that you spent at Amazon in Mexico. And
Mhm.
just before going live, you were telling me some of the challenges that you face on building the team from scratch, on transforming or transitioning the CRM, that by itself is a big project. So, I'm pretty sure that there were so many challenges. And the idea today is that we explore how it takes to scale customer support in such a big organization. It's the biggest marketplace on earth. Oh my goodness. I'm sure you have a lot to share.
A lot of stories, a lot of horror stories, I'd say.
And some
Definitely,
stars,
yes.
right? Okay, so I have a few questions here, but also if our audience has any questions, please feel free to type in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to bring this on the screen. But just to kick things off, after what did leading customer experience at Amazon teach you about scaling without losing quality? Because this is such a big challenge, right? So sometimes I have previously worked for startups, and I do have some startups that are my clients today. And they focus so much on growing and scaling, but then at the cost of quality. So, how was it at Amazon? How did you do it?
So that's a great question. I do believe that the biggest and most important thing is to have the right tools to support the people, to support the scale. Why? Because sometimes we think that as we grow, we just need to throw people into the business, and just throw more hands, and that's gonna help us grow. That's gonna help us pick more bricks, or put them together in the right place. But the reality is no, it's how we support the people that we have, and know as we scale if more people is the right choice. How about we introduce greater technologies or improve the processes that we have? Do we review if how currently running the business is the right way to go? And one of the things that I love about Amazon is that as much as they have grown from the past 5, 6 years through COVID to today, they started the delivery business worldwide grew heavily to billions and billions of packages being delivered on a daily basis. And the reality of Amazon, and that's one of the things I loved, is that the amount of people that were hired did not increase equivalently to the amount of revenue or packages that started being sold, right? Why? Because as Amazon scaled in business, they also scaled in technology, right? They scaled on the right tools to support people. They scaled on the right processes to support people. They scaled on the right businesses at the right geos, and put fulfillment centers at the right places to improve the operation. But it wasn't just about, okay, so we sell more, we hire more. Not really. Let's take a step back. And one of the things that I just love about Amazon is about thinking backwards. You know, how will look 5 years from now, and did this choice today really help us get to the place where we wanted to go? So tools, foundation, the support that your people need is the first thing that you need to think about, and that's what we did. We worked on new CRMs to support our people. We worked on AI. We worked on process improvement. We worked on knowledge bases, so that our people were supported.
Wow, amazing. I think that you touched so important topics here. One is the employee experience.
Hmm.
And I never tired of saying that that's how everything starts in CX.
Hmm.
You need to make sure that your employee, that your team has a great experience. Otherwise, there is no way they can deliver something better if they don't have it,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
right?
Completely.
So whenever we are growing by itself is stressful. Growing means that you're getting out of your comfort zone. You need to do more. If you're going to do, how you're going to do more is what makes the difference. At exactly what you were saying. But I think that you mentioned communicating. It's really important to let people know what's going on with the organization as a whole. Say, hey, we are growing, or we have the target, this percentage of growth as a target. So what are we planning to do? And of course, it must come from leadership.
Of course. Of course.
Then the second one is, okay, if this is what we want to achieve, and that's why I always say start with the main kind of a company goal. What is this company trying to achieve? And then you're going to work backwards. And then every single department will add to contribute to that main goal. But once you have that goal, okay, so if our goal is grow, how are we going to do this? And what does your team need?
You know, it's funny because I always say the strategy doesn't matter as much as the vision, because you can create a strategy to conquer the world if that's your goal, but if the vision is not clear, where are you going? And you were saying this thing about communication, and it comes from leadership completely. But what will they communicate? Where
Yes,
do we want to go? As you said, do we want to grow? Do we want quality? Do we want fast? Do we want efficiency? Do we want revenue? What are we willing to sacrifice at what point in time to make those things happen? Are we not willing to sacrifice anything? Beautiful. How are we going to make that happen?
exactly.
And once we need to communicate down, it has to come from every single avenue. It has to be accurate. No matter the source, no matter the leader, no matter the department, the messaging is the same. Because if it's
Exactly.
not the same, of course, us as humans we love relationships. I mean, we don't do anything alone. We will talk. And when things are not aligned, it will feel like a conflict. So, are we really going there or are we not? Because I'm getting conflicting messaging.
Absolutely. And not only this, I think this is the starting point, making sure that there is only one communication,
Hmm.
meaning that no matter to whom or when or how you communicate the same thing.
Yes.
Because people get really stressed once they hear something from their leader, something else from the senior leadership, or something different from a different department. They're like, "Oh my goodness, where are we going?"
Yeah.
Right? So, from senior leadership, the most important thing is to make sure that you have a clear goal for that organization and you communicate that clearly.
Oh,
Then
yeah.
the second step is to make sure that your team and the different levels of the organization has the same understanding.
Hmm.
Because the fact that I communicate something, and even if I do my best, it doesn't guarantee you're going to get the point.
Oh, it doesn't mean that you got there. You need to ask. You need
Yes.
to ask. Get involved with the people, get involved with the audience. Hey, what do you hear about this?
Yes.
What do you understand? How does this look like in your everyday? There's
Yes.
nothing else to ask, and we should never assume that the messenger got there.
Never assume. And then ask people, how do you think that your daily work contributes to this?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you do not create the sense of belonging. It's actually the opposite. Oh, what am I doing here? They don't value me. What I do does not kind of matter to this organization.
Mm-hmm. Completely.
Which is a good segue for the second question I have for you, because of course, scaling support or scaling any organization is not an easy task.
Mhm.
But you mentioned technology, you mentioned planning ahead. I think this is so important. It's not kind of a growing on the go, like a changing the tires of the car in movement. No, it's actually planning for that and understanding that we're going to face some challenges, but let's try to map those challenges as much as we can. So the amount of the unknown challenges we're going to face reduces significantly.
Completely.
Um, but then you mentioned that you introduced a mentoring framework at Amazon.
Yeah.
How do you design and implement it, and why did you do it?
So when I was at my years at Amazon, we were scaling fast in Mexico. The Mexico side had been open for about 2 to 3 years. So we were scaling, we were growing, we were learning our ways in Mexico. We're a fully remote site, that matters also. Um, so we were about to ramp up heavily, heavily, right? Hundreds of new hires in just about 6 months, the last 6 months of the year. There were so many stressed factors happening at that time. It comes Prime Day, it comes the last side of the year, which is a lot of gift giving and Thanksgiving and Christmas. And so it's for the insights of Amazon, let me tell you, they are heavy hitters. They're heavy hitters for our people all of the time. So we're having this. I always believe that for customer experience, we need to listen to the front runners, the people that are facing our customers. Sometimes, us as leader, we're moving things in the background to support our people,
Mhm.
and we assume or believe that something is happening either on a perfect streamline of things. The process should be working, right? But once we get to our people, it's like, I'm sorry, but that's not how it looks like every single day. So by listening to our people and the things that were coming, Prime Day, Christmas, and all this, and they knew we were about to hire a lot of people and we were a remote environment, there was this feeling of what's going to happen to me, what how what does staying at Amazon look like, because Amazon is growing. How do I support us? How do I support the people and the challenges that I faced when this site was brand new? There were a lot of challenges. I did not know what to do. And one thing coming to consider, Amazon is huge, huge. There are hundreds of processes for front runner people, for front facing customer support agents, hundreds. Cognitively, it's heavy, 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 right? So what happened is we had a lot of people that have been there for a year, for 2 years, for 3 years, and they had a lot of knowledge to provide. So what I created was this mentoring program, this me program, subject matter experts, right? Because they were the SMEs of Amazon. They knew how to support our customers. They knew our processes. They knew the nuances. They knew the tips and tricks of how to handle certain situations or where to find things. And we were having, let me be honest, some attrition due to that because it was Mexico side was not as big as other sites, more established sites in the US or in Latin America. Mexico was brand new. So we did not have that many functions in Mexico. So how would I grow? How can I feel valued within the company? So it was like, I know a lot. Why can I not share it with someone? Why can I not share what I felt and how I can just help them avoid those feelings because I understand that they intend well, but they don't know how. So I'm going to
Mhm.
support them. Right. So what happened was This meet program, we took a lot of the top performers from every single teams at Amazon. One thing to consider, every single team, not just my teams. So it was important for me to talk with other leaders about how their teams felt. Is this something that was just within my teams? Is were their teams also feeling like they could add more, that they could provide more to them, right? So this program already existed in Amazon in a sense, right? So what I wanted to do was, how can I, as they are providing a service to these new hires, what was the service like? They provided answers to questions, they provided tips and tricks, they provided real-time answers to things and situations as they were on a call and support. They could step in on a call if needed. That was the operational, right? But what can Amazon provide to these mentors? So what I did was provide how to do a QBR, how to do a weekly business review, how to do coaching and mentoring, have a one-on-one session, how to do staff meetings. So what I did was teach them and give them more tools to be leaders within the
Amazing.
organization, so that when they were in an interview process within Amazon, they could grow. They could actually say, hey, yes, I worked on this. I'm a leader. And I'm a leader due to A, B, and C, right? So what happened was a lot of things. This project is one of my the favorite things that I've done ever, because it's why I decided to be a leader, to have impact on people, right? So what happened was, first we had an increase of 30% on KPIs for customer satisfaction from new hires. That was not easy to do, because, as you know, there's a lot of processes, so we kind of drop the ball sometimes, and
Of
that's
course.
expected on new people, and it's okay to fail. Let's just own it and move forward, right? But with enough support from people within the organization, enough support matters, because it's not just providing support, enough operational support. We were able to increase the confidence of the new hires. And at the same time, we were able to increase the ratings and the CSAT scores that these new hires were having, right? Which is the 30% customer satisfaction. But that's not it. What happened to the mentors? Did they just stay there? Well, no. Some of them were able to get promotions from what they learned. They were able to grow within the companies to team managers, or they were able to work to grow as supervisors, right? A supervisor is someone that helps internally, but it's of a next level. So because they need to be leaders and they need to handle escalations, right? So these mentors, these needs, did not just stay there. I'm gonna say something that I just love. In the job requisition for team managers for leadership programs within Amazon, there was a section that said to have participated in the SME program. So that just was fantastic, because they knew the work that was behind that program. It was not just about solving a problem, which was a lot of new hires, they needed support. It was about mentoring. It was a guiding future leaders,
Wow.
and when you focus on the people, you get results. That is customer experience. Kindness starts from within, and
Oh
then
my goodness.
it gets felt outside.
Yes. Oh, first of all, congratulations, because that's what great leaders do. And yesterday I posted about the challenges and the loneliness of first-time managers.
Mhm.
And what one of the biggest mistakes I see people when companies and leaders make is, whenever the organization is growing, right? They tend to promote strong individual contributors
Yeah,
to the first level of management.
yeah,
And I'm not saying this is wrong by any means. What I'm saying is that's not enough. And that this first leadership position must be supported by mentorship, by training, by guidance. And the earlier you will start not only mapping who has the leadership skills, because leadership is not for everybody. Not everybody has the skills, and not everybody wants to be a leader.
hmm it's true.
And this needs to be taken into account.
It's
So
true.
I do have people that I mentor and they come to me and say, Kami, you know what? I don't want to take any leadership position. I would rather stay or prefer to stay as an individual contributor. And that is
Mhm.
totally fine. And we need both. So
Yeah.
trying to kind of a transition or put this person into a leadership position, you're going to lose twice. You're going to lose a strong individual contributor, and most likely you're going to kind of pay the price of not having a good or a ready leader. But what you shared here is so important because amidst the development or the growth of the organization, you thought ahead and look how important the culture of the organization is. Because in the same way that they planned ahead that growth and they went after technology and the tools to support that growth by incorporating this concept, this culture, you did the same, but
Mhm.
on the development and leadership side.
Mhm.
And said, okay, how can I help these people? Not to see things 5 years from now,
Mhm.
but to help them see what can be or what this their next step look like.
Yeah, completely.
Amazing.
And
Amazing.
I always share with companies, and even with my people and with my teammates, if you don't want to grow into leadership, that's okay. You don't need to. There's always a path for you. You could be a programmer, you could be a program manager, you could be a subject matter expert about something, you could be a senior of what you already do. And I always recommend every single company, we need to have two paths: people manager and individual contributor. Always, always, because you just said it, we're going to lose people. And you know what? And this is probably just me, or I don't know, but let's think years from now when we put someone that didn't even want to be a people manager into that position. They don't make it because they didn't even want to make it, but they thought their only path forward was that. How will we as leaders impact their professional life? Not
Yes.
just their stay at this company. How will they feel tomorrow? How will they know if they're enough? And they should know they're enough just because.
Yes, absolutely. It's truly important that we respect not only their timing, because maybe they don't want to be a leader today. They look above and they say, that's not the type of life that I want for me now, right? So in your early stages of your career, you look up and you start, like we were discussing before going live here, the children, the kids, they look up and they mirror what
Yeah,
their parents or whoever surround them do.
yeah,
It's the same thing with the early years or the early stages of your career. You're gonna look around and say, "Hey, do I want to work like my manager? No, so I don't want to be a leader," which is completely different. The way your manager does, or the way your manager manage people, doesn't necessarily is not the only way,
yeah,
and that's why it's so important that what I said, what I posted yesterday, we care and we have empathy
yeah,
with these people. And
yes,
I have a lot of empathy. So, as a CX leader and having worked with so many support teams, I do have a lot of empathy. Some of them is starting their job in this type of job, not knowing what they're going to do or not necessarily knowing where they are stepping into. And they find themselves there and they build their career and they develop themselves. So, it's really important that you not only treat them as one more person, as another number, but as an individual, as someone that is there, that has their dreams and wants to develop personally and professionally.
completely.
And I have here a question from our audience. So, Cam Bernay, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but part of CX is accountability. Oh, I would say that CX is all about
It's
accountability,
all about
right?
this. That's kind of the foundation, I'd say, ownership.
Yes, I often say, and Alf knows this because him and I have worked together. You touch it, you won't it. So it's definitely accountability. Has Amazon been able to scale that on an employee and company level along with operations? What a great question.
That's a fantastic question. So one thing to know is that accountability is something that you never stop working on. We work with people, right? People are their own universe. So people go in and out of companies all the time. This is something that you as leader have to always be working and teaching and guiding, and there are so many ways to be accountable. So it's about, okay, so let's say that a package got lost. How does accountability look like for that customer, for that package? And you need to teach that to that person, right? Or you need to be that person who's accountable for that package. But how about when something got charged by mistake? How does accountability look like there? So accountability at an employee level is something that is always ongoing. It just doesn't stop. It's depending on the leader of always teaching constantly as the company goes, and you as a leader always knowing that accountability is something you will always promote. Because the moment you go the easy way, is the start of something you don't want to do. Think about the future. Think about what you're doing today. On a company level, I'd say yes. And they are, and Amazon at a company level is doing the same thing because they are dealing with leaders, right? So even if the vision is to be the most customer centric company in the world, leaders also change. So it's something that you always have to promote from up to down so that it's always felt. I do believe that accountability is happening and it's always revolving and evolving. Revolving and evolving. Why? It's always there, and evolving because it looks different all the time. We are dealing with customers, we're dealing with people, they're not machines. You just don't submit a prompt and beautiful, that's accountability. No, we are human. We are human. It's something that never stops. And I do believe that we need to understand that from a customer experience leadership standpoint. You're never going to settle on what works. Experience is evolving every single day, just as technology, because technology changes the world in a second. Experience changes with it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And if I may add here, what I would say to Cam and to all the audience is that even I firmly believe we can develop skills. Let me start by saying this, okay? If you want to.
Mhm,
That second part is really important. So when I'm interviewing people, I do check accountability.
mhm,
How? And this is important for me to share that one of in the early days of my career, I read the 7 habits of highly effective people when I took the course from Steve Colvin. And the first habit is being proactive, which means that you are not a result of the circumstances. You are a result of your decisions. Period. And it stuck with me now still today, and this is what I teach my kid at home as well. So when I'm interviewing, I do ask questions about situations that this person went through that were not successful. How does this person deal with failure? And you're going to be able to see based on the answers if this person is accountable or not. If
mhm,
this person is blaming others for his or her failure, or if this person is taking accountability. So
mhm,
my recommendation here is that you explore accountability. If this is something important that to me is very much important, so I cannot. It would be really challenging for me to work with someone that is not accountable.
completely.
But you can definitely explore this during the hiring process. If the person already has the trait, then it's as a matter of strengthening.
Yes.
But if the person doesn't come with accountability, then you got to be very careful because if you have an accountable team working with someone that is not accountable, it can disrupt the culture.
Mhm,
So, leaders, be careful. You can check accountability before hiring someone. There are different ways of doing this. And speaking of that, because we are talking about accountability and culture, and we know that Amazon is very data driven. I
mhm,
also have had the chance to work for Uber, that is my
mhm.
goodness. When I started at Uber, I realized how how much not data driven I was.
happens.
But Alpha, how do you balance performance metrics with culture and developing or actually shaping a culture, right? Because you cannot go to one extreme of being metrics only and not being so soft and just kind of uh, working on the culture. How do you balance those things?
When you work in a company so big, there's a lot of data points. A lot. You can measure anything. Focus on the right things. Really, you could say, I want to measure 15 things for perfect success. No, 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 no. Understand the vision, understand where you want to go, and understand out of the 15 data points that you have, which brings the greatest impact. And then take it from there. Focus on one, two, or three, and then start scaling as you go over time. And you can definitely bring that forward. So, but how do we balance this with culture? Bring it to the people. Explain, what do you understand CSAT is? What do you understand QA is? Help them understand why the measurement matters, because we're not measuring them as humans. And that sometimes we believe from the other side that a KPI is measuring our value. And that definitely diminishes and grows either in stress or diminishes the sense of worth that a person has. And that can always impact the experience. So, which is why we remove the person from the equation and we understand what we're trying to achieve and how they are paramount into making success happen. We are measuring success as a project, as a company, as a business, because we're trying to deliver for a customer on the other side, for a human on the other side. But we're not measuring them, So it's important for them to understand how a KPI measures success. How does that success impact their business? How does that success impact the customer on the other side? Why does that KPI matter? It matters to the vision. It matters to the person as an individual. It matters to the human on the other side. Why does average handle time matter? Well, I always tell my people, who's calling support because they want to? I mean, they have to take time from their kids, from their family, from their loved ones to call because they have a problem. So it's not about how fast you solve an issue. It's, hey, there's a human on the other side that would love to be spending time with their loved ones. So how about we work as efficient as possible so that they can go back and enjoy their lives, you know?
Yeah,
So it's
it's very
about
completely different what average handle time is.
exactly. So it's not about how fast you are. No. Hey, there's a human on the other side you're working with. How about we think on and we have empathy for who's on the other side?
Put
So I
yourself in their shoes, right?
yes, yes. KPIs are all about delivery. It's about understanding them as a business, understanding them as a human because we're working with humans and we are customer experience.
Mhm,
Customer experience, they go side by side.
mhm,
Customer, client, whatever C you want to put it. But at
mhm.
the end, it's experience. Right?
Absolutely.
So
And
that's what
understanding that the employee is also your client. So an employee is a customer of the leader.
you got it. You got it. So I asked, how can I help? How can I help improve your experience? Because as I said at the beginning, kindness starts from within. Right?
Absolutely. I love it. Okay,
So,
you won't believe, but we are approaching the end.
oh my God, we need more time. I mean,
I know. But
this is a topic that's just fabulous. It's just passionate. It's lovely. I
I
love it.
could podcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a
Oh
week.
yeah. Oh yeah. I do it too.
But before we wrap things up, what lessons from Amazon can any CX leader apply today, no matter the size of their company? What have you taken from Amazon? What is stuck with you from your experience at Amazon?
Leaders, think ahead. What you do today will always impact tomorrow. I promise you. You have no idea how the smallest thing you'll see grow or not 5 years from now. So, as small the decision, think about the experience. If I were the person on the other side of this process, if I were the person of the other side of this communication channel, how would I feel 5 years from now if this never stopped? If this actually grew, if this was bigger, if this was more impactful? Think ahead.
Don't play small.
Don't play small.
Right? Dream big
Dream
and
big.
bring people along with you. Help them kind of dream your dream.
Yes.
That's what this leadership is about. Oh my goodness. Yes, music to my ears. Alf, I am pretty sure that people will look after you. So what is the best way to find you? Tell us your social media, or what is the best way to get in contact with you?
Beautiful leaders out there. You'll find all of my comms in LinkedIn. I'm always here for you. I'm always here for a chat, for hopping on Zoom, for hopping on a call, an email, whatever. I'm always here. I love the experience, and these chats are seriously why I get up in the morning.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Alf, I can't thank you enough. Once again, it was a pleasure working with you, and it was a pleasure talking to you. And today, pleasure to have you at this show, learning from you as usual. This podcast, as I said in the beginning, is a place where we discuss ideas and strategies on how to transform experience into business growth. And I am pretty sure that today the audience has had the chance to learn from you about empathy, about planning ahead, about supporting the employees for scaling the business, and much more. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. And for our audience, I see you in the next episode. Thank you.
Hey, everyone.